So when my skin was going crazy, a full face of makeup was contraindicated. It just made everything worse. But I still wanted to look decent when I went out. So I started doing a very minimal makeup routine. This routine can literally take anywhere between 60 seconds and 5 minutes, but certainly no more than that. And now I really prefer this look. What I have on my face right now is the Roche-Posay Anthelios Tinted Sunscreen, the SPF 50. And most days, this is all I will do in terms of foundation, concealer, anything like that. Now, I've got a Zoom meeting later on this afternoon, so I want a little more coverage. I don't want to do full foundation, but a little bit. So what I like is the Lancôme, the Tint Idole. This is the Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. And all I'm going to do is put a dot on my forehead, my nose, and down on my chin. And then I'm going to buff it in like crazy. And I will say I first saw this, Wayne Gloss was the first one I saw do this. And I have my IT Brushes For ULTA, the 101, the Airbrush 101, my favorite foundation, concealer, whatever brush. So I've got a little saga to share with you, which now just turned into a little bit bigger saga. I shot this video yesterday and was really happy with it. Did a really great job. And when I was cleaning up, I was trying to get out of the house to go to Costco. And I put my micro SD card from the camera in my back pocket. And then I forgot it there and went to Costco. And I am pretty sure that that micro SD card ended up either in the parking lot at Costco or maybe the floor. And I did call them. No, nobody turned in a micro SD card. So here I am shooting it again. And then, to add insult to injury, I was not recording the first time I did this concealer. So, doing it again. Anyway, as you can see, it's given me just a little evening out of skin tone, covered over a wee bit of redness, helped with the zit down here. So for this step, I'm calling that good enough. Now, had I not had Zoom this afternoon, I probably wouldn't have done that concealer. I would just move to my next step, which is, okay, so bougie, Christmas present. It's the Christian Dior, the loose powder that you can get without the really beautiful bougie packaging, but I just fell in love with the packaging. And quite honestly, right when you're a beauty YouTuber and you've got so much freaking makeup, sometimes you just buy something because it looks really pretty. The challenge with this is it's got this weird little mesh thing, and it's kind of hard to get the powder out. I think that's why they give you the bougie puff, is you're supposed to, yeah, I mean, you can see it flying everywhere. Bounce it in there. I try really hard to do it with my big fluffy powder brush. It works okay. But all I want to do is tamp down the shine and keep it, at bay for most of the day. And really, any powder, just a light dusting of powder seems to do the trick. After that, we've got to do brows, right? They frame our face. It makes such a difference. What I have is the CoverGirl, this really fine tip on this. I don't mind this. It's not my favorite. My favorite from the drugstore is actually NYX. In fact, that's kind of my favorite overall. But I was traveling and ran out of my brow pencil, went to the local drugstore, and they were sold out of the NYX, of course. So I've used this CoverGirl before, and it, like I said, it does a fine job. It's a little more work for me because it's such a super fine tip, but that's okay. Huge difference. So, you know, some days I won't even do powder. I'll just do my brows and call that good. But since we're going for a little more makeup, non-makeup look, I am using the MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. Normally I use this as a primer for eyeshadow, but I like how it just covers over my lid, gives it a smooth look, covers over veins, discoloration. So for just a little more polished look, I like using that. When my skin was giving me problems, I was really cutting back on makeup. And what I was looking for was really clean makeup, talc-free makeup, mineral-based makeup. And this Kosas is the eyeshadow palette that I picked up because it is talc-free, it's really clean, and it was good and neutral. And all I'm gonna do, I'm taking my beloved Morphe, what is this? The M432 Flatline brush, dipping it in that darker brown and literally just going under my lower lashes out of the corner. I'm gonna come back to it, taking what's left on that, and I am doing just above my upper lashes and working that in along the lash line. Now, historically, for kind of a minimal makeup look, I really like to tightline, and of course that CoverGirl 24-hour exhibitionist is amazing. Hands down, my favorite eyeliner for tightlining, but I was also having problems with my eyelids, and so I didn't want to tight line, and so I moved to this method, and I really like it. I feel like it's a little softer. Certainly I have a much wider range of colors to use. I also like doing it because if I put mascara on before I've done some kind of lining of my eyes, to me it looks really weird. I don't know if that's because my lashes are blonde naturally, or it's just they're a little sparse, but to me, I really need that, in this case, eyeshadow filling in for the mascara to stand out on top of it. I hope that makes sense. And I know I don't have to show you what a huge difference mascara makes, but, right? That's why we do it. I'm a big fan of the minis for mascara. I feel like they do a nicer job, and the absolute best beauty buy out there is Sephora Favorites, their Lashstash. They do these at least once a year. I think they usually do it twice a year. You get 5 mini mascaras, and the current price is $28. But what you also get in there is a card that you can redeem for a full size of one of those mascaras for free. It is, I feel like, one of the best deals out there. Let's do a little color on the cheeks. I like a kind of neutral blush. This is Lancôme. This is Mille Glacé. And this is a Rougher 05 brush, and I'm just really doing the back 2/3 of the outer part of my cheekbone, and then maybe just a little pop what's left on my cheeks, just for a little bit of color. The highlight of my day today, we have a king-size bed with a king-size comforter, and while I can shove it in my washing machine, it doesn't move around, so it never gets clean. So I found a laundromat about 2 miles from here that's got oversized washers and dryers, and I'm going there. Woohoo! I just picked up this NYX Fat Oil Lip Oil, and I am loving it. And this is the darkest shade that it comes in, called Status Update. But because it's a lip oil, it really sheer. In fact, you can make it super sheer, or you can kind of build it up. Even if you use kind of a lot of it, it's not, as dark as it looks in the container. Now, I promised you a little review of the Dyson, the flat iron meets blow dryer thing. I have owned this for about a year, and I've really come to depend on it. It does a good enough job. Like, it's better than if I let my hair air dry. It's super quick. I can go from completely wet, towel dried hair out of the shower to hair is done in 6 minutes. And of course, the footage I shot yesterday had my hair. So this is what it looks like after I've slept on it and worked out. But still, okay, that's not too bad, right? And here's footage of me using it, and so you get some other looks. But yeah, in terms of kind of like I just want to go out the door and I don't want to look totally disheveled, I really appreciate that device. Since the Dyson Airstrait Straightener can be used on either wet or dry hair, I just did literally like 1 minute kind of touch up. But again, it's like I'm going to the laundromat today. It looks fine. Thank you so much for joining me. If you liked this video and you want another minimal makeup look, there's this video or this playlist with all of my makeup tutorial videos.